Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Paws for Self-Care with Di. Today, I'll be presenting a little workshop on respect and self-love that I put out a little while ago as a workshop on Zoom. I do hope you enjoy it, and I do hope that you can take something away from it for your mental health and well-being. So let's get to it. So many of us feel that we are not respected by our colleagues, our friends, family, acquaintances, whoever the person may be. We just feel there's a lack. And, relationships should always be 50-50. There should always be a good balance. So it's not wrong of us to be concerned when when we feel that things are out of whack and we're not happy with the level of respect we are receiving. Perhaps you even judge yourself by what you perceive other people think about you or what they say about you. And that brings on a huge gap in your life and self-worth, and you tend to bring yourself down because of those things. Now, I watch the wonderful Mindful Mondays with Shudu, our awesome Miss South Africa, and in one of her Mindful Mondays, she said, you know what? She goes out on the street and people look her up and down, and then she starts to check to see, what's out of place. Meantime, at home, she checked and she thought she looked really great. And she said, you know what? People don't even really will give you a second thought in passing you in the street. So why are you giving them so much power over what you perceive they think? I mean, will they really think about you for the rest of the day? When people say something mean, it's usually their ego or perhaps even jealousy that clouds their view of you. So it's not even worth focusing on. It could even be a trauma response because they are dealing with unhealed trauma. And a lot of us are dealing with unhealed trauma right now due to COVID, the recent looting. A lot has happened to us in the past year and a half. Now, perhaps your lack of worthiness, or your lack of self-worth, should I say, can actually come from your childhood. For me, that is mostly where it comes from. If you watch my previous videos, you will know that I grew up with domestic violence, and I also have a narcissistic mother, which I have gone no contact with. I've also gone no contact with my extended family due to their behaviors, which I also believe have some narcissistic tendencies. And I just believe that I deserve to be treated better than how they treated me in the past and treated my children in the past. So going no contact was the best thing for us as a family. If you were bullied at school, it can also take that bad self-worth and pull it into your adulthood. So parents, if you know your child is being bullied at school, try to do something about that to uplift them. And if you are at school and you know somebody's being bullied, step in and give them the care that they need. Everybody deserves care, and nobody ever deserves bullying. It's just a disgusting habit, and nobody should ever partake in that kind of behavior. Everything that you experience in your life is taken forward into the adult you are now, the person you are now. So it's so important to be able to work on those and improve your mental health as you experience negative things, and the need for changing things so that you have the respect that you deserve. Now, to create respect in your life, it is really valuable to learn to love yourself. And to learn to love yourself, take part in self-care. Self-care breeds self-love, and then you learn how important it is that you are respected. You need to acknowledge the wonderful, amazing human being that you are. You need to stand in your own power and be gently assertive so that you get the respect that you deserve. Unconditional love. We should all be gentle on ourselves and practice self-love when we make mistakes. It is so important that we show ourselves care first. Remember that a mistake is only a lesson. I have a quote here. After all, Thomas Edison said that I just found 2,000 ways of how not to make a light bulb. And I think that is something really good to focus back on when you look at making mistakes. You learn what not to do the next time around. So be creative and try something a little different. Now, the most important thing about respect is if you don't respect yourself, there's no way that other people will respect you. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean by setting boundaries. I mean by taking care of yourself. Set time to take care of yourself. Respect yourself enough to know what your body needs and listen to it. Listen to your heart. Listen to your emotions and help yourself through it. You are amazing and you deserve that care that you need. You deserve to give it to you first before you give it to others. Now, I know it's really cheesy, but if your cup is empty, you can't afford to give anything to anyone else because you'll be drained and you won't have energy, you won't have the emotional capacity. You could actually start to get ill because you are giving too much of yourself and you aren't looking after yourself. Now, I can tell you from personal experience that a lack of respect for yourself, you start to put walls up around yourself. And yeah, those walls go from brick to a stronger material and eventually titanium. And you don't let anybody else in. So you need to have an understanding of exactly who you are and know your self-worth. You, warts and all, imperfections and all, are absolutely perfect. You were put here for a reason. Everybody has something that they are great at. And especially for teenagers and young adults, I know it is so difficult to find what your passions are. Just look at your hobbies, look what you're interested in. Don't force yourself into doing something that you feel uncomfortable with. Do what makes you feel good. And that is possibly the best advice that I can give you. Don't let anybody bring you down, ever, because you are perfect as you are. And as a teenager, you are learning to find out who you are. Try things. If you don't like it in the long run, you won't live with the regret knowing that you didn't try it. So go ahead and find out where your niche is and go forward into the world, trying new things, growing, expanding, and finding joy in the things that you do. That is what is so important in life. When you don't respect yourself, you must know that you can't hide from yourself. So when you can't hide from yourself and you live in a space that is just disrespectful, you tend to feel unhappy and unfulfilled. And it is so important to be fulfilled in life. I mean, life is so short. You don't know if you're going to leave here tomorrow. And that is the reality of things. So live your life for you. Be you. And if somebody else isn't happy with the joy in your life, that's their problem. It's not your problem. As long as you are kind and you are gently assertive, there's no problem. Always be kind, always be respectful, and be it to yourself first. Be you, be happy, and don't change for anybody. You should be able to wake up in the morning and say, "Good morning, gorgeous." Look in the mirror and say it and believe it. That is true self-love and true self-care. That's what it all together brings out in you. And I can't tell you enough how valuable and how wonderful it is to be able to look at yourself and think that way about yourself. A wonderful little addition to that, I go regularly to workshops with Margie McAlpine, and I enjoyed them so much that I became a teacher for the Angel Connection School of Africa. Now, in her workshops, which she repeats regularly, she told us about this lady who did her workshop where she specifically focuses on you saying affirmations like "Good morning, gorgeous." So anyway, this lady would go to the bathroom mirror in the morning and look at herself in the mirror and say, "Good morning, gorgeous." And she'd carry on with her day, and one day she went into the bathroom and there she went off, "Good morning, gorgeous." And what she didn't know on that particular day is that her husband was standing behind her. And he said to her, "Well, I didn't know that you think I'm so gorgeous." And she had to laugh. And well, yeah, so it works both ways. If there's somebody in the room with you, you brighten their day too. Now, affirmations are really great, but to start out, they are really difficult. I mean, when I started out by doing Louise Hay's 21 days of mirror work. And I did it the first time, and I actually realized doing those 21 days that I desperately needed therapy. And that is when I went to Margie McAlpine for counseling. She is also a registered counselor. So yes, I went to her and she helped me through inner child work. And then I did the 21 days again, And I actually could see how I had grown from that experience with therapy, with her, and how much I had changed just from adding those affirmations. Now, yeah, you don't have to do them aloud. You can do them in your head, but you need to look at yourself and you need to actually believe those words that you're saying. So, yeah, if you watch my Monday videos, I'll give you a lovely little tip on one Monday coming up. Here are some affirmations that you could try. I love and respect myself totally and unconditionally. I love and respect all those around me totally and unconditionally. Now, when you do an affirmation, maybe try to say it 3 times, because then you are training your brain, and it also helps you get to a point of believing those affirmations. Tools to assist you with self-love. Love is the only thing of importance. If we love and care for ourselves, we can have the capacity to love and care for others. Like I said before, remember that saying, if my cup is empty, I have nothing to give. So, replenish your cup with self-care. Or you can even say, fill your battery. Because when your battery is dead, what can you give? Think of yourself as a car. Train your brain to process one thought at a time, so that if you have thoughts that are plaguing you, irrational thoughts, whatever the negative situation may be, you can help yourself to work through it and also move forward. Show gratitude. Gratitude is exceptionally valuable. It just helps you to see that, even the small things in your life are really good. It doesn't have to be the big things. And yeah, I spoke about that in my short mental health tips this Monday, how celebrating the small things are just as important as celebrating the big things, and that works well with gratitude. So yeah, remember to celebrate those big things, small things. Have gratitude for everything. Excuse me, I have a WhatsApp group, a Paws for Self-Care WhatsApp group, and every day we try to mention one thing that we are grateful for. And we have a challenge going. So if we mention one thing today, like say, I'm happy for the sunshine, tomorrow we can't mention the same thing. And we shouldn't be mentioning the same thing as anybody else in the group. So yeah, it's a nice little challenge to widen that repertoire of seeing what you can actually be grateful for. Start a gratitude journal. It doesn't have to be a big journal, or you can add it to your main journal. It just has to be a little notebook, and before you go to bed at night or first thing in the morning, write down 3 things that you were grateful for yesterday, or 3 things that you were grateful for in the day that has just passed. A lovely thing is having a gratitude jar and scribbling those 3 things down and putting them in a gratitude jar, and when you're feeling low, pull out a few pieces of paper and read them to see what you were grateful for. And it just reminds you of those good emotions you felt when you were grateful for those things. You are not invited to attend every argument that comes your way. Yep, if somebody is feeling particularly argumentative, you can walk away. you can turn around and say, I do not want to argue with you, and I don't want to be around this energy. And you can walk away, and that is okay. It is not bad to put your foot down, and it is not bad to not be somebody else's doormat. If you are on social media and an argument is going down, you can just choose not to comment, choose to hide it from your feed, choose to scroll on by. Smile. Now, I know it's really difficult these days. You actually think behind a mask that people don't see your smile, but the truth is they can see it in your eyes. When we went to court, the appearance just before my daughter had her accident, Erin and I were sitting outside, and she was holding my hand outside the magistrate's office, and this lady that was ahead of us came out, and she was standing there waiting for her husband, and she saw we were holding hands and comforting each other, and she just smiled. And I don't think I'll ever forget that. It was such a nice, heartwarming experience just to see, that smile. It was so nice. So yeah, when you go into Pick and Pay or whatever place you're going shopping at, be nice to the tellers. Remember, not everybody's on their best behavior, and not everybody is always in a good mood, and they have to deal with all these various people. So if you treat them well and treat them respectfully and just smile, it'll give you a better experience. Now, just a little anecdote. My daughter had to go for x-rays every time we went for a doctor's appointment, and I was nice to the people in the lab there where they were taking the x-rays. And when I was dealing with the attorneys, because we're trying to claim back some of the medical fees, it's a lot, and Discovery doesn't cover everything, obviously, although they've been fantastic. And you just go in, you be nice. So when I called the x-ray department to say to them, please could I get my daughter's x-rays to hand over to the attorneys so we could claim, the lady said, oh, I remember you were here with your daughter. And you always think people just remember you for the bad stuff. Well, people remember you for the good stuff too. So be nice. When I went in the next day to collect the x-rays, the lady was very nice. And with this new popular thing, it's really difficult with privacy and what have you to get these things done. So being nice really brings back a lot to you. And not only that, it makes you feel good inside. See everything you come across as a learning curve. And never be afraid to ask questions. There's never ever a stupid question. If it's going to help you, ask it. And you know what? No matter what your age, if there's a course you're interested in, do it. If in the end, excuse me, if you are able to use it, all good for that. If you can't use it or you decide not to use it, that's also okay. But it helped you in the long run. Visualizations and meditations are really great as well to bring you that inner peace and serenity, and also help you with self-love and self-care. I'll now be taking you on a visualization to help you with self-love. Please make sure that you are comfortable and warm. Please close your eyes and feel your feet firmly on the ground. I'd like you to focus on your breath and just breathe deeply and evenly. Deeply and evenly. As you are breathing, just feel your body relax. I'd like you to imagine the wonderful Archangel Michael standing behind you as you go on this visualization. Imagine that you are sitting in a garden with your guardian angel. The grass is lovely and green. There are a few trees and shrubs. There are also pink roses that are beautifully kept, and their scent fills the air around you. Your guardian angel, who is with you, tells you that today you will receive a special gift from Archangel Michael, Archangel Chamuel, and Archangel Jophiel. They will join you right here in this tranquil space so that you can love yourself as you are. You are the perfect creation made by our Creator. Looking at the garden, you notice 3 beautiful angels walking towards you. You see that one is wearing a blue cloak over his shoulders. Your guardian angel tells you that this is Archangel Michael, and he is the angel who keeps us safe and secure. Michael sits in front of you. He tells you that self-love is so hard because every time we experience a heartache, disappointment, or trauma, we build a wall around our hearts to prevent further pain. He says that this is unfortunately what prevents us from loving ourselves and others fully. Archangel Michael reaches out his hand and touches your heart. He says that you can call on him any time you need to feel safe enough to let your guard down. With any time that you are dealing with things that make you feel uncomfortable. Feeling safe is the first step to being able to let the love in. Michael wraps you safely in his soft wings and says that this is the perfect place to start your self-love journey. And it is a gift to you to use at any time you need it. Michael moves aside so that the next angel can sit in front of you. This angel hands you one of the pink roses from the garden and tells you that this is Archangel Chamuel. Archangel Chamuel is the guardian of the heart chakra. He says that despite all this talk about broken hearts, the heart is actually unbreakable. The pain of grief and trauma makes us think it's our heart, but in reality, our heart is our haven. Chamuel puts his hand on your heart and says that just like a rose opens up from its bud, he is gently opening up the petals of your heart. He says that as they are opened, you will be able to let love in. This special gift will allow you to love yourself and others, opening up the doors to all sorts of new things like friendships, opportunities, and abundance. You feel that a weight has been lifted off your heart as Archangel Chamuel moves over to allow the final angel, Archangel Jophiel, to sit in front of you. Jophiel is the Archangel of Illumination. Jophiel says to you that he would like to bestow the gift of light to you. Light to clear up the world around you so that you can see its beauty and that it reflects your own beauty. He says, just as nature is perfect, so are you. He says that the light will help wipe the slate clean and will help you not only to see things as beautiful as they are, but they will be more vibrant and you will feel gratitude for this new outlook. Archangel Jophiel says when you find yourself in a position that you are unable to look past a difficult situation, you can call on her so that she can help you see the good. She says when you find yourself listening to your own inner critic, you can call on her to remind you about the magic you make in the world and how very needed you are. She says when you see the beauty in the world and are able to feel gratitude for it, you are able to truly have a heart-penetrating gratitude for the life you are living. She reminds you that gratitude attracts gratitude and therefore abundance in your life. Archangel Jophiel places her hand on your heart and gives you the gift of light, which at this point you feel safe and you feel loved. You feel grateful for this precious time with the angels, and they all look at you lovingly and through the garden again. They turn and leave. Your guardian angel says that it is now time for you to leave too. Your guardian angel reminds you that you can call on these angels any time you may need them. You don't even have to remember their names. Just call on them and they will be there for you. She tells you to focus on your breath again. Breathe deeply and evenly. Deeply and evenly. You begin to feel the room around you. Feel your thumbs over your fingertips. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Is everyone back with me and feeling grounded? If you are not feeling grounded and feeling a little floaty, you can stamp your feet on the floor a few times, or you can have a drink of water. Thank you so much for joining me today doing this self-love and respect workshop. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to see any other workshops, I will be presenting workshops on Zoom in the future. My next one is on boundaries, and if you want my previous workshop, there is a recording on YouTube of my resilience workshop. I also have a recording of my workshop introducing angels with Archangel Michael. You can contact me to purchase that recording. So yeah, please do. Resilience was a really great workshop and really a worthwhile one. So head by that video to watch it. In future, if you'd like to see my YouTube workshops, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you know when they'll be going live. And yeah, please do head by on Monday for my quick mental health tips. The videos are all under 10 minutes long, so they're very quick and a really nice little tip for the week ahead. Some motivation for you. So yes, do remember to pause for self-care. Till next time.